Welcome to another TOEFL listening practice video. In this video, you will listen to a lecture, answer some questions about it, review the correct answers and explanations. Don't forget to subscribe for more TOEFL listening practice.
Today, we'll be discussing cultural differences in communication styles and their impact on international relations and business. Communication is a fundamental aspect of human interaction, yet cultures approach it in remarkably diverse ways. Understanding these differences is crucial for navigating cross-cultural environments, whether in business, diplomacy, or everyday interactions. One major distinction in communication styles is the difference between high-context and low-context communication. In high-context cultures, such as Japan, China, or many Arab countries, communication tends to be indirect and nuanced. Much of the meaning is embedded in the context: body language, facial expressions, tone of voice, and even silence. High-context communicators assume that their listeners share a significant amount of background knowledge and that they will interpret subtle cues. For instance, if someone in a high-context culture says maybe, they might actually mean no, but expect the listener to infer this based on the situation. In contrast, low-context cultures, like those in Germany, the United States, or Scandinavian countries, prioritize direct and explicit communication. In these societies, people tend to value clarity and transparency. What is said is exactly what is meant. For example, a business negotiation in a low-context culture often involves very clear terms, with little room for ambiguity. This straightforward approach minimizes the risk of misunderstandings, but it may also be perceived as blunt or impolite in high-context cultures. So, how do these differences play out in international business settings? Imagine a scenario where a company from a low-context culture, say Germany, is negotiating a deal with a company from Japan, a high-context culture. The German team may expect clear, direct answers to their proposals. However, the Japanese team might respond with more ambiguous language, leaving room for interpretation. This could lead the German negotiators to feel that the Japanese are being evasive, while the Japanese might believe they are being respectful and non-confrontational. Such misunderstandings can cause frustration and even derail business deals if not properly managed. This is not just limited to business negotiations. In international relations, diplomats often need to navigate these communication differences. A diplomat from a low-context culture may misinterpret the intentions of their high-context counterpart, potentially leading to diplomatic tensions. Consider the case of a U.S. diplomat trying to secure an agreement with a Middle Eastern country. The U.S. diplomat may perceive a lack of direct responses as indecision, while the Middle Eastern diplomat may feel that they are showing patience and thoughtfulness by not rushing into an agreement. Cultural differences in communication also extend to nonverbal cues. In high-context cultures, nonverbal signals carry significant meaning. Eye contact, gestures, and even silence can convey messages that are sometimes more powerful than words. For instance, prolonged eye contact in some cultures is seen as a sign of confidence, while in others, it might be considered aggressive or disrespectful. These distinctions in communication styles also affect teamwork and collaboration within multinational corporations. In a diverse team, it's important to recognize that individuals from high-context cultures may hesitate to speak up directly or challenge authority, as this could be seen as disrespectful. Meanwhile, those from low-context cultures might expect open, direct feedback and interpret silence as a lack of engagement. Managers working with multicultural teams need to be sensitive to these differences, adapting their communication styles to bridge the gap and promote effective collaboration. To sum up, understanding the nuances of high context and low context communication is essential for anyone working in international environments. Whether you are negotiating a business deal, managing a global team, or engaging in diplomacy, recognizing and adapting to these communication styles can help avoid misunderstandings and foster more successful outcomes.
One, what is the primary focus of the professor's discussion? 2. How do high context cultures primarily communicate according to the professor? 3. Why does the professor compare business interactions between German and Japanese teams? 4. According to the professor, what role do nonverbal cues like silence and eye contact play in high context cultures? 5. What can be inferred about the professor's view on communication within multicultural teams? 6. How does the professor suggest cultural awareness can help in international diplomacy?